Right, so here we are at the Kaipo. Beautiful day. It's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Just come out for a hunt. I'm just coming down through the river flats. About 2 minutes from camp. Seen their sign around. And quite a fresh sign too. So, lots of sign around camp. It's a beautiful day to be in the Kaimanawas. Perfect. So that was pretty cool. Just had a good encounter with a stag. It's the stag that I've hunted before, and I know where he lives. And sat watching a gully for about 40 minutes with thick pepperwood. And as you can see, it's getting a bit darker. It's probably lighter on the camera than it actually is in the bush. It's quite dark. And so I thought I'd better head off, and took 2 steps, and there he was down in the pepperwood. So he had a few yodels at me and a few little roars, and he's pretty pissed off. And anyway, he ran straight back to his little tight gut that we know where he lives. He didn't hang around, so that was pretty cool though on day 1 to head straight up there and find that he's still there, so that's cool. Still got a chance of getting him. Right, the morning of day 2 in the Kaipo. A beautiful morning. It's a lot more wind today, so have a little bit of noise cover anyway up in the tops, but it might be swirling around a bit. Hatched a bit of a plan. And the plan is that Dad and I are hunting in opposite directions in the morning, but we're going to come down on top of where we think the stags hold up in the afternoon. So we've got a rendezvous at 4 o'clock. That's either side of where the stag is holed up. So if all comes together, we might put up the stag again and hopefully give them one before Department of Conservation drop all their 1080 in here and kill them. So let's just hope we get to them first. Well, another close encounter. Later in the scope, can only see her head about 80 metres through the trees, so I didn't take the shot. She circled me. Now she's buggered off and just warning everything else. Up on top of a ridge, I was sitting right in the head of a gully where there's heaps of sign. I've seen an area where the animal lives. She's just gone across to the next ridge and carried on squealing. Awesome, just shot a little line. So that's primo. Probably interrupted our little rendezvous a little bit, but I'll go and find it, and then I'll head across to where I'm meeting Dad and come back and pick it up on the way back. But that's lovely. She was downhill about 100 metres. Pretty confident of the shot. She ran about 30 yards and then I lost sight of her, but I don't think she's gone very far. She'll be just tucked down in that gully there somewhere. So, it's good. Hopefully got some meat. Awesome. Well, sometimes the common theme with hunting, and I've been on a previous trip where I've missed an animal and then found a dead stag. I think what's just happened is I either had an animal, couldn't find it. I was pretty confident of the shot, but Dad and I searched for an hour and couldn't find it. And I've just come across this little dead stag. And there's his front legs here. There's his shoulder blade and his front legs. And there's his back legs here. So, what is he, a little 6 or something? There you go, little stag. So whoever's either shot him or he's died, he hasn't been found. So the kids will be stoked anyway. They love little antlers on their walls. So after finding this stag and looking at the bones, I sat down and had a look at the GPS. And about 3 years ago I shot a stag, I thought it was a little 6, and never found it. And turns out where I found this guy was within 100 metres of where I pulled the trigger. So it would seem likely that this is the stag that I shot a few years ago, and it's obviously been down for a while. I mean, most of its bones were covered by branches and leaves and what have you, and it's obviously been there for a while. But I'll never really know, but if it is the stag I shot, then it's actually my first Sika stag, so I'm kind of stoked, but kind of like thinking, well, maybe it's not my stag, so who knows. But anyway, I'll chuck it on the kids' wall anyway, and it sort of adds to another hunting story.
Have you pressed go yet?
Yeah, mate, you're all go.
Oh well, there's not much to report, mate. I put up an animal on the way up there at about 720 metres. Didn't see it, just heard the usual hee-haw as it dived off into the gully. And then I was making my way over for the rendezvous.
Yeah.
When I heard a shot.
And we know how that ended, so you
So
can stop right there.
Well. So I stopped hunting and thought, well, I better go and give the young fella a bit of a hand.
Yeah, yeah.
But no, we didn't find it. And yeah, I'd had enough by then, so I came home pretty much.
Right, there you go, Martin's on.
Right, day 2. Left camp rather later than anyone else because I'm lazy. Went for a walk up the track to meet the track cutters and to the swing bridge.
Those tree huggers.
Tree huggers they were too, mountain biking Labour voters they were. Yeah, then cut off the main track.
Protein hazy.
And went across the river up to a nice plateau and tried to stalk that, but it was very, very noisy, so I just sat down and decided to be more lazy. And about an hour later, 3 hinds popped their head out right below me, only about 30 metres away, and managed to get a shot off at one and dropped it, and the other 2 popped their heads out and they were obviously following close behind and ran off into the bush. Decided not to shoot the second one because I thought I might have been a bit greedy, but in hindsight probably would have been a good thing. Never mind. And then a nice walk back to camp for a fire and a lovely evening meal cooked by our resident chef. And that's about it.
So back at camp on Saturday. There's Kaipo Hilton. Fireplace is still there. There's a bit of a washout since we've last been here. Some of the pumice seats got washed. Well, they didn't go far. They just got washed into the log behind me, but still standing after all these years. It got a new cross member this time. Go another 10 at least. The boys are over here boning out Martin's animal. How's the butchers?
Butchering away.
Cool.
So you had an encounter with the camp stag.
Fuck, did I what?
I know, I heard all about it.
Oh mate, how awesome was that?
He's vocal, isn't he?
Man, I had him bailed up for about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
At about 20 metres in the thick stuff.
Yeah, I know, and he just waits for you, eh?
He just waits.
Yeah, and screams at you.
Yeah, and carries on and carries on.
Yeah.
How awesome. And I caught up with him again up the tops.
Okay.
I chased him up the gully.
Yeah.
And he went right up the head of that gully.
The creek.
Yeah.
Alright.
And got in close to him again. First he crashed away. I was in the thick pepperwood and he crashed away to my left. Yeah. And squealed at me, and then he cut around above me. Squealed at me again and just sat there, and then he finally squealed, and then I heard him go and he went over the ridge into those thick bluffy gullies in the next one. I made the mistake following him. Oh man, it's terrible in there.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh, that's the left fork.
Yeah. We need to
Well,
put...
that's where I had to go to cross over.
Oh.
Through there.
I've never been so bluffed out.
Yeah.
Really bad. Marty boning out his hind. How you going, Marty?
No complaints.
All good, eh?
Yeah.
Beautiful meat.
Is it? It's in good nick, eh?
Look at the fat.
Oh wow. Yeah. Even the fat around those legs, those back legs.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, beautiful hind.
And then I put up an animal coming down through those bluffs in those tight gullies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just crashed away, didn't even squeal at me.
Yeah.